I wrote an article on this kid, and he said he showed it to his mom. His mom cried.
That's awesome.
I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
amazing.
What? Like, are you? Like,
That's better than $50.
That's what I'm for sure, bro.
Just a couple of bros here. You know, if I'm rubbing my hands together, that means it's another episode of the Soul Serum podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. It's an interview episode today, and on the podcast, in the studio, we have our good friend Brick here with us today.
Boy, what's up?
How you doing today?
Shit, can't complain, man.
Can't complain.
Glad to be here. Very plush.
There's a lot
beautiful
of
carpeting.
Thank you so much. You don't know how much that means
welcome,
to me.
Dude. That's why I'm here to comment on the carpeting.
There's a lot of red hair in the room right now. We are all wearing sunscreen. Nobody be worried about that. A lot of fair skin. Before we get into the interview, I just want to remind everybody, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, join the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on TikTok.
Boom.
Literally
LinkedIn.
Anywhere you can find us, come find us.
Cash
Soul
App,
Serum.
PayPal.
All
Hey,
that.
dead ass, I'm gonna link my Venmo in the bio if y'all trying to donate. I can get some more purple turf. Like I said, today we have our friend Brick on the show. Brick is currently an editor for Daily Chiefers, a very quality hip hop blog that I would recommend following if you want to stay up to date with, good hip hop artists. It's not one of those whack ass pages that just posts like everything just because, there's obviously
Appreciate it. For sure.
Like, sometimes you get on your Instagram Explore page and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe
it's
what
paid.
I'm
Everything's
looking
paid
at.
for. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
We have never accepted payments. We will never accept payments. That's fire. Yeah, if it's good music, it'll probably get posted. Unless you're a dickhead, just don't be a dickhead. Be nice, be respectful, and we'll get around to listening to your music. That's it. So.
That's fire. All right, that's the episode, everybody. Let's cut it there. Just kidding. So he's currently the editor at Daily Chiefers. He has
One of them.
He helps. I asked you what artists you manage. You said I sort of help.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing. There's no paperwork on anything music wise for me. Joey Razook and Kel Bender, a couple of my friends, they're out in LA right now. They're from Ohio. Kel's produced for like Ski Mask, Craig Zen, did stuff for X. Like, Joey is a very talented kid from Dayton. And those are the kids who I really put a lot of effort in. There are other people who I help out and, try to push, but those are the kids. Those are my actual friends.
But when you say you help them, what exactly does that entail?
I consult with them. I connect them to people. I'll post their music. But a lot of times if I see an opportunity on the timeline, like Twitter or IG, or, if I'm talking with somebody and it just makes sense to kind of slide them in there, then yeah, why not? Pause.
Right.
That was kind of crazy. Slide them in there.
Can we talk about that real quick? So like when I first got into like the Cincinnati music scene, trying to like, see who was popping, like who's actually like has a buzz and was relevant, especially on SoundCloud. Joey Razook was like one of the first artists that I came across. I think that's how I got in touch and like connected with you, because I saw that you were helping him out and stuff. How did that relationship come about?
We met at the Mockbee.
Nice.
What a beautiful
shout out to the Mockbee.
You can smell the mold from here. We met at the Mockbee one night. We were just like Isai Morales and like River
Shout out
Kid
Isai, by the way,
from Dayton, and Nova Kang, and they were all friends with Joey, and so it was just kind of a link up thing. And then he was with Turtle, who's a videographer, Super Fi. He's doing crazy shit out in LA now.
He's working with like Fonny and Uno.
Yeah, dude. Shout to Turtle. Turtle's tight. Turtle
Yeah.
works super hard and doesn't get a lot of recognition as he should, but
Agreed.
I think he's super fire. He's doing stuff with Got It too.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see something.
Turtle,
like that. Yeah.
Turtle's on
Like
some
baby.
next level shit. He'll be around for a very long time. But we just met off of just kind of like, hey, you're so and so. Follow back, whatever, and then just kind of kept in touch from there. And at that point, I think I was writing for Animal House and the Year 5K, which were older publications that I wrote for. Shout to Jordy and Will and Tanisha and Chris Marsby and Azari and all of them. And then the Year 5K was actually created by Jake Brode from Lyrical Lemonade. JB.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lil Jake?
No,
The other
J.B. J.B.
Oh, J.B. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
got
you're
you.
all good.
Got you.
So I linked with him through this dude named Backwood, who, if you're like, he's
Nice.
like a fashion guy. He sort of makes music, like low key an Ohio legend, but like kind of a dickhead at the same time. But you got to give him his props. But I met him through Backwood, and then it was just like, yo, you want to write? And I was like, yeah, sure. I graduated from UC with a journalism degree in 2015. One of the best degrees you can have. You can go super far with it.
Very lucrative.
Very lucrative,
field.
dude. I'm racked up from writing right now. But yeah, started writing through that, and that kind of gave me an early glimpse as to how some of the stuff works. But it's all based on relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There are people who, for instance, pop star Benny from Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
crazy producer.
Yeah.
So talented, super nice guy, tall as fuck. Apparently he's like 6'10", super tall.
6'10"?
Yeah, he's super
I was
tall.
guessing like 6'6".
No,
maybe.
I know you don't know because the internet.
Yeah.
And he's a producer.
He's a producer.
He shouldn't be
Very
making
talented,
beats.
bro.
No, but he's
should-
unreal.
He should
dude.
be playing ball somewhere.
But hey, eventually. Probably unreal in a rec league. But yeah, I was posting his music back in 2017, and we were talking earlier this year, and I was like, yo, do you have my number? And he's like, bro, I've had your number since 2017. It said FatBoyBrick / Animal House. And I was like, oh, okay. So you don't really realize who you're going to be building these relationships with,
Mhm.
but it's just important to kind of be kind and be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get to a point where if you're still friends with these people, it's going to be just smoother and easier to deal with.
Mhm.
So I'll post his music, like we'll send stems back and forth and shit. So good, dude. It's just it's a small world. The world gets smaller the more that you grow.
And you've been doing a little producing too lately, haven't you?
Low key, I started in March. Been trying to like dabble in it. It's cool. It's difficult, man. It's super hard to make
Yeah.
beats sound as great as you hear them when like think about an Eternal Take beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like that shit is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Brandon
Working on Dying.
Also,
Yeah, bro, they're unreal. Working on
Unreal.
Dying.
I think
Real.
about the futsal shuffle beat too. I'm like, how did somebody
Well,
create?
It's so
that?
it's already such a good beat. All that it's crazy that album came out this year.
Yeah.
Because of life in general.
Literally.
But that production is so crisp and clean and hits so perfectly
Mhm.
and all that stuff. And then like past just crafting and curating the sounds, then mixing and mastering is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's what doesn't make sense to me. Cause mixing and mastering takes like such a subtlety. You
Bro.
know, it's such a
you have to have unreal like
small tweak.
speakers. The room has to be
Right.
set up. The speakers have to be in the right like place.
Uh-huh.
And then you
There's legitimate science that
It's-
goes
yeah.
behind it. You know what I
I
mean?
remember hearing, I don't know where I heard this, but this dude who was a mixologist, if you will. That's definitely not it. but-
Engineer?
yeah, a mixing engineer. I guess he was so committed to it. He had his own home studio and he had a chair that was in the perfect place and it was nailed to the floor at the
Wow.
perfect height. So it would just hear the way he would hear from that angle would be the clearest and he'd be able to translate that the best
That's
to the master or the mix or whatever he was doing at that
that's
time.
beautiful.
Seriously.
Honestly.
I forget who it was. Somebody might know who that is, but I remember hearing that probably a month or two ago. I was like,
yeah.
that's commitment. That's
For
true
sure.
science.
A
for
lot
sure.
of casual, just like listeners and fans of hip hop don't really know like the engineering and the mix and mastering side that comes
Yeah.
with like, it's like, okay, it's pretty well known that like, you know, Metro Boomin and these people make really cool beats and like
Yeah.
producers are becoming, you know, very big, as big names as artists are nowadays, you know,
Facts.
but like the likes of like Alex Toomey, these other really big engineers, like of course, like they're really big because of their relationships and you know who they've built with.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, could you name another engineer other than Alex Toomey?
KY Engineering from
Oh,
Lexington.
duh,
Yeah.
damn, that's fucked up. I knew
Legend.
that too.
Yeah, he's one of my
Legitimate
favorites.
legend.
There's a kid named Cam. He does all of Flea, and he's done some Lucky.
Shout out
Mhm.
Flea, one of my
Yeah.
favorite up and coming
Yeah.
artists.
Cam
right
is really good. Cam's a great engineer. There's some good engineers in Cincinnati. There are a lot of people who I will forget that deserve better but sorry.
Yeah, it's just hard. They're just like one of those like parts of the puzzle that like really get like slept on.
It gets overlooked. It's a huge aspect of that. And then people get upset, like, how are you going to charge me $50 to mix and master my song?
But like,
bro, that shit is
like,
tedious.
Yeah, seriously.
That is so tedious. Like, yeah, man, I just think that there are a lot of people who don't understand. The listener and the consumer rarely understands how much goes into the art and then past the recording process, past the writing, cover art, marketing,
everything.
Yeah, everything, bro. There's just so many things, and that's why people get so upset when you don't take the time to listen. I get it, but there's just no disrespect to all these other artists. There are 10,000 people just like you, and 9,000 of them might be better than you.
Yeah.
And I want to say that to you so you hear it and you take it personal.
Yeah.
And you got that chip on your shoulder and you're sitting there like Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas and you're like, ooh, I hate Brick now. I hate him. I have to get good. And I want that for you. I want that for everybody. I want that for myself. I use that. There are people in my life that I hate with that much, not to the point where I want them to die. Other than Donald Trump.
Right.
And Mitch McConnell, you too.
Oh my God.
But, Mitch McConnell, if you're watching the podcast.
Mitch McConnell, if you're watching the Soul Serum podcast right now, I'm coming for you.
That's a whole other conversation.
No,
we're Kentuckians
right?
too.
They're just awful. They're just awful people. But there are people out there that have motivated me enough to the point where I'm like, bro, I really want to shove this in your face. We might not ever talk again, but I know you're watching.
Yeah.
I know you're looking. I know you're seeing what we're doing. And there are people in both of your lives. It's just not as intense
definitely
as for certain people. But that's just motivation.
Along these same lines, can I ask you, so if an artist wants to approach you and wants you to listen to their music, is there like a particular way that you prefer them to?
For sure. So a lot of people are like, is there an email I could send to you, like a preferred email? And then there's a variety. So they're the people who are just shooters.
Yeah.
JJ Redick at Duke. Putting up threes. And they're just like sending links, which sometimes I'm like, cool, cut the shit, just send the link.
If you're in a good mood.
Just like, whatever, let me click it. But that also, like, if it happens to be fire, then great.
Yeah.
But then there was a kid I think it was like a month or two ago, maybe even, there are so many artists that just send their stuff.
Yeah.
This kid goes, hey man, sorry to bother you. I'm like, don't start off like that. Like, you're pitching me music. Don't start off, hey, because
like,
you want to take my CD.
You're like not sorry. You're not sorry to bother me because
it's my literal job. It's my job to be like, hey, we got to find new content to post.
Yeah.
We're a discovery publication.
Mm-hmm.
We are here to help break new artists. That's what Joey Walker, the founder of Daily Chiefers, has always
shout out Joey.
Yeah,
Legend.
Always been about. Very legendary, unreal A&R, great person, works harder than the majority of people I know, is a mentor for me too.
Yeah.
Like, has showed me so much stuff, and I've met so many great people through Chiefers. And through Animal House and through the Year 5K. It's crazy that just doing the little extra thing can get you to meet all these people. And I think a lot of these kids are intimidated by the fact that I'm Brick or I'm me, dude. I live in
low key. When I first found out who you were, I was low key intimidated by you. It's just like it's what comes with like being like new onto the scene and kind of being like an unknown name.
Right, you're
just like, okay, Brick is this.
I used
person.
to be that kid. I used to be that kid who was just like, nice to meet you. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, now I sort of know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I'm not like,
same.
Yeah, dude, I know what it is. I don't write for the Fader. I write for Daily Chiefers. I love Daily Chiefers. I love to write for them. That's like a big part of that's a passion project.
Yeah.
And this kid sends me this email and he goes, I'm sorry to bother you. I would really love for you to, take the time to listen to my music. And I emailed him back because I was like, I said, never start a pitch email out with sorry to bother you. It could be to whom it may concern. It could be, dear Brick, dear Mark, hey, whatever, I don't care. I'm not very
for consideration or something
exactly.
Like that,
You could format it in the most MLS double-spaced format possible, and if the music sucks, it's not going to resonate. But I hit this kid back. I was like, yo, man, don't do that. Like, just send me your music, say what it is, give me the valid information, the important points. I will listen to it. This is just for future reference, though. So you could send music to whoever you want, and they won't, because they're going to have the same reaction.
I love how you stopped and took time out of your day and like literally shot him back and told him, yo, like this is how you're supposed to do it.
It's
a lot of
important to
people
do that,
a lot of people
man.
are just gonna get like offended and pissed off, be like, and not even give the kid a response, and he's gonna do it again to the next person.
But 9 out of 10 times, all these writers are in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Essentially, to where I can't even imagine submission emails for certain publications.
yeah.
Like if you
We did that.
Yeah,
Not a good
bro.
move.
HiveMind does it. Shout out to HiveMind
Yeah.
too. Their YouTube is unreal. They
They're
do a
going
great
crazy.
job
Yeah,
of that
shout
stuff.
out to the guys at
Yeah.
HiveMind.
And that's the whole thing. If we all work together, that's why when we did the stuff with you for Jack,
Mhm.
shout out to John and shout out to everybody Soul Serum involves. But it's the community of writers and media publications.
Just influencers and like tastemakers, like overall.
Right. We're all going to be in the same boat. So we're probably going to 9 out of 10 times have the same reactions to how you present your music. So
Mhm.
just if you say, hey, Brick, I saw that you write for Daily Chiefers, yada, yada, yada. Here's a link.
Yeah.
Don't say, can I? Just send it.
Literally.
Because you're already talking to me. That's like, hey, I have a question for you. Just ask the question.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I hate that shit when somebody's like, hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Well, that's one. So now you're lying to my face. But there are so many kids who I don't think realize how they could make shit happen, how
Yeah.
crazy life is. Like, great example, Jack Case.
Mhm.
I think we were talking about this earlier. The fact that he has been making music for his entire life, essentially. He plays like 10 instruments. Nuts.
Yep.
That's nuts. And
Not a lot of people have
Oh,
the
can
mental
play even
ability
one.
or
I played
rhythmic ability.
I played
to-
cello and trombone, and I was nice at trombone.
Fire. That's
I was-
so
I
also
sick.
played
I-
trombone.
I
as a
was
kid.
I was first chair trombone.
And we all play
and I
recorder in sixth
quit.
grade.
I
Yeah.
quit after a year, and the band teacher was heartbroken. He was so
Damn,
heartbroken.
dude.
But sidebar, back to Jack. We'll get on my trombone history later. All of his life's work has led him up to where he is now. He's not some superstar international pop star yet, but he has the potential, and I think he's going to go a very long way.
Yes.
And when did you post the Morbid Mind video? What was that?
It was like July 8th, like
And
this summer.
the song came out
2 months before that.
So like April.
It was like it
Like
came out
May.
in May, and then we dropped the video in July, and you wrote up about him like it was like a month after.
Right.
I don't know how you found it, but did he
Neither do I, bro.
he found it, and then like I always pay attention to who you're writing for, especially somebody in the Cincinnati scene, because it's like, especially nowadays, I feel like you haven't wrote much about the Cincinnati scene. You're kind of digging up your own.
I try to find good music. I don't really I don't have a vendetta against anybody. There aren't people who I'm like, I will never write about them.
Yeah.
I mean, unless somebody did some foul shit, yeah, but like no, everyone has a chance.
Yeah.
I have a question along these lines though. I feel like we've been dancing around it, and I just want to ask.
Go
it.
crazy.
So, like, one thing we've talked about is, well, you've said the word tastemaker. We're talking about finding good music to write about, this and that. So, how do you have good taste? Like, is that something that you can learn? Is that something that is natural? Is that, or can you even answer that question? Like, what makes good taste in your opinion?
I can answer that because there's somebody who I always think of who is very adamant on this rule. Will Foster, who is one of the cornerstones of Animal House, Lucky's manager, Stupid Cool's manager,
Ohio legend, man.
Yeah, legendary. He, one of the craziest ears I've ever encountered. He is just on that. Either you have it or you don't, and like you can listen to something and realize, wow. But he always says he's a fan of the music.
Yeah.
It's just he loves it that much. When he hears something that moves him that much, he's going to do whatever he can to help out that person because that's the type of person he is. And that's why people rock with Will.
Yeah.
I think everybody should kind of understand that. If you're a good person and I hear something from you that I think, wow, this could be further than where it is now, if you want to see them move.
Yeah.
You want to see them do great things.
So is it something that like, is it you listen to a song and it has to make you feel something?
It
Like
has-
you have to feel it in your chest and you're like, okay, there's something here.
It has to, okay, so it has to evoke an emotion for me.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I'm very like, if I hear a song, and I've gotten better about like kind of not worrying about genres, where I heard this song today by this kid, Tommy Richmond. I don't know where he's from, but it's like some 80s, like, so it's just some fire alternative stuff. And it's one of those songs you're like, yo, how is this not huge? Some Dap girls would fiend on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly who would eat this song up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's, a different variation for like, there's a guy named Chino Capin from Atlanta. I think he's Atlanta or some part of Georgia. Super fire, can sing his ass off, got a little Southern twang. It's like uses some Lil Baby cadences, some Rod Wave cadences, but he's still doing it in his own way. And that kind of is a different powerful emotion than the 80s synth wave. But it depends on how I'm feeling. I've listened to music my entire life. I love music. Music is my passion. Real estate's cool, but music's my passion. I'm not like, yeah, dude, let's wake up and sell. Dude. Like, no, some people are like that and they're good at their jobs, but that's not. Yeah. Money doesn't move me the way art and music moves me, and I think that's the reason why I'm so into it. And I've worked for these sites for 5 years in, almost 6 years in, which is nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't write at all for any of these publications in college. I didn't know what I was doing in college. Like,
neither did I.
Bro, and look at it, we're all okay. Nobody died.
Yeah. Nobody.
Definitely. So this is a question that Tanner added, but I'm going to ask it because I'm running this bitch.
Go ahead, bro.
What is I don't want to ask what's the biggest, but what's a pet peeve you have about the music industry? Other than, I mean, we already kind of talked about kids being like, hey,
artists and stuff.
Hey, could you listen? Pardon me, could you listen to my song, please?
Facts, that's really what it is.
Is there anything else though? Like,
I think it's just arrogance. And I think everybody can agree with that. I'm not even really, I'm sort of in it, but I don't live in New York. I'm not getting a paycheck from a label.
Yep.
I'm just doing this stuff because I want to and I love it. But yeah, I think that's a common thing is all the people who act bigger than their britches, who think that they've brought more to the table than they really have. And that's why I try to keep my ego pretty at bay. I think an ego is cool for a little bit, but the majority of the time it's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that just be nice.
Be a good person.
That's really all it is, bro. If we were all just nice to each other, how sick would everything be?
Yeah,
like,
for real. That seems to be an underlying
kindness
theme in pretty much every industry I've ever talked to people in. For example,
it's just our competitive nature in America.
Yeah,
right,
so
it's just like
I used to work at a skate shop. Shout out Home Skate Shop. But they would have professional skateboarding teams come through, and you would meet the pros and everything. And an underlying theme of all of these team managers and everything is you could have been the greatest skateboarder alive,
right?
But if you're not fun to hang out with, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Why would we want to support that then? I
think in another way too, it's why would you want to go out of your way to be like, oh, hey, this is my favorite skater or this is my favorite rapper I met them and it ruined it. And I literally don't want to support anything they do anymore. And it's the meeting your heroes type thing. And that scares a lot of people. And Chuck was one of my heroes, though. Chuck English was legitimately one of my heroes, and meting him, dude, so nice.
That's sick.
People never give the credit to the cool kids and Chuck and Sir Mikey for
100%, bro.
What they did to rap music,
they're a great piece of the puzzle.
Yes,
for sure. And
I feel like they don't even really want to be recognized like that, but I think it's important to let everybody know the cool kids had a very important part.
I think the reason they had some label issues, so that's why they kind of don't bring it up as much.
Theme.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. But get you a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And yeah. Shit.
So let's shift a little bit to some Ohio Cincinnati themed questions. Another Tanner question that I'm gonna ask. Who are some of your favorite artists in the area at the moment? If you have any. It doesn't necessarily have to be Cincinnati. If you got some Ohio artists.
Oh, for sure.
Too.
Okay. Well, Ohio wise, Roadrunners are going to be TB and Savvy are sick. I mean, they're signed to Cinematic. Shout to Johnny Shipes.
Yep.
The Blender Boys.
Right. RIP Cousin Todd. You know, that's crazy that they got signed to them. That's super sick. Mills is legendary. And then you got to talk about like Cleveland. If you're going to talk about Ohio music, you got to talk about Freshie.
Bro.
Freshie's unreal. Producer wise, Hunter Banzan, Chris Crooks is a rapper in Cincinnati. Sage is a rapper from Cincinnati. Both of them are very, very good. And then you got people like Pango and E the Prophet, even though he's a Kentucky boy. I mean, I kind of group everything.
Yeah, it's all the same scene,
the greater
man.
Cincinnati area.
Devin Burgess, JB Lamage, Isai, Emilio Morales, 1-800-NERVOUS, shout to Logan, Travel Fund, whatever he wants to go as. Bro, there's Perez. There's so many tight people. And I feel bad because there's probably 10 more artists that are tight.
Yeah,
like Drugzilla and Major, all of them are tight. And then, bro, there's so many. There's an abundance of talent in Cincinnati. It's just there's not labels here. And then there's the cloud over the city that people think they can't do anything or they gotta leave.
Well,
so what in your opinion, how do we bring sunshine to our city and get rid of this cloud?
I think it has to do with like working together. People are gonna be like, "What do you mean?" I'm gonna be like,
"No, wait. Can I say
what does working together
as somebody
entail?
Who's not from Cincinnati?
He's from Louisville.
I'm from Louisville.
Oh shit,
L's up, baby.
Whole different scene.
Shout to Ricky Pitino.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. I don't want to get on this tangent.
Nah, bro.
Now. I love
Rick Pitino is fire, bro. Like
Rick
he's a
Pitino
legend.
Was like a father to me.
Probably very sketchy human being, but shout out to
bro.
Rick.
Hey, I've been in the restaurant where he allegedly had sex with that woman.
Allegedly.
And the booth that he allegedly did it is very small in the back, and you could you walk past it and you're like, oh, Rick Pitino's fucking in there.
Ricky
but as somebody who's not from Cincinnati, and every kind of culture or group of like creatives or whoever that I've interacted with, I've noticed that everybody, oh God, there's a fly. I've noticed that everybody is very cliquey. Like everybody has their own little pockets, and I feel like nobody really wants to. That everybody's in their own corner. Like, oh, but my group's the coolest. Oh, mine's the best.
I feel like it is like that to a certain extent for sure. But I think that's how friends are, man.
Yep.
Like friends,
that's
like
how high school was.
It is. Yeah. I'm 28. In music years, I'm old as shit. Like I'm senile by what these kids will say these days. But I don't feel
you're really not though.
I know, bro. I'm young, dude.
On the grand scheme of life, right. You're still young as shit.
Hopefully, we have a nice long life and and everything. But I think there are a lot of kids that it's competition. You don't view these. A lot of times you don't view these other artists as somebody who's trying to do the exact same thing as you, or another variation of that. They view it as competition, like you said. That's the American way. Everyone's like,
yeah,
gotta be.
I've got a big old wiener.
Yeah,
like no, you don't. We know you don't. But like, I think if everyone kind of, I don't want to use Odd Future as a good collective thing, but like collectives work.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys come together and enough people, Tribe's a big Tribe does a lot of great things for the city of Cincinnati.
Yeah,
for sure. They are wonderful people and we need them in Cincinnati.
Yes.
And I see people like that and I'm like, why doesn't everybody want to help them out? Yeah. You know what I mean? I think competition, I think it's friendship, just being like, oh, well, this is me and my team. Yeah. This is me and my gang, whatever. We want to make it out, get it out. Like, wouldn't you look to anybody who could help you out to help you out?
Yeah.
Who knows why there's the anger and I don't want to say resentment, but it's just kind of this miscommunication in between cliques in the city.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, people are bussing back at people because like, like we have beef on SoundCloud or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I don't think certain parts of the city, this is still Cincinnati, that shit happens. But do I think that because so-and-so dropped this, like that's happening? No, I just think it's the competition thing. I think people are like, well, you're in my way. Universal's going to ride in on their beautiful golden chariot and they're going to pick me up and they're going to say, here's $1 million signing bonus and you're not going to get it because you're not as good as me and you make the exact same music as me. No, there are a million different people in Cincinnati, maybe not a million different artists, but a bunch of different people in Cincinnati who are really good. They just have to find their perfect sound, have to get the right eyes on them, have to have a good team around them. Get a good lawyer, and then you go from there. There's not really a point in getting a good lawyer until the labels are calling, or you're signing management deals. If you're signing anything, I would probably suggest it, just because the jargon that people put into, I know through real estate contracts, I have to read over those real estate contracts so many times just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Want to do a double check because that could make me either lose a license, lose a client, lose money, whatever. So it's the same thing. Any contract, you need to have a professional reading that over. But until that point, until people are calling you like, hey, we want to sign you up, you don't really need to worry about it. Just make the music and find a good team and then kind of go from there. And try to network with other people who are like-minded and become friends. Work together with your friends and definitely be honest.
Do you have any advice to younger kids who want to work with artists like in a similar way that you've worked with artists? Like how, like if there's a kid watching who's like, okay, I love this music shit. I want to be a part of it, but I don't want to produce. I'm not a rapper. I'm not this and that, but I would like to help my friend who's an artist get bigger. What should that kid do?
Reach out and just tell an artist, hey man, I see something special in you. You give an artist a compliment, be like, hey, I was listening, be very exact about it. Like, and be honest, because a real artist won't be like, this is weird. You told me you felt something about my music. They're making that for you to feel that. They're trying, a real artist is doing that because they love it, but also they want to help somebody else through their time. If you say that, shit, that might even make them cry. And that might be like, yo, I want you on my team, or I want to keep talking to you throughout my entire career. And like, they'll remember that, bro. Real life is very real for a lot of artists to be, not in a place like Cincinnati where it's not an abundance of a chance of you getting out through this. And if you can make connection with 10 people who are like, yo, I love your music. Like this shit got me through a really, really tough time. Then that's going to make all this a little bit easier. But yeah, man, like just reach out, tell them, hey, I really love your music. And what I used to always say, if there's anything I can ever do to help, let me know.
Yeah.
And people will be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They can either take that whether, oh, whatever, that's cap, like, or they can be like, wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. And then just be like, take your number. I used to always say, hey, if you need any writing help for an EPK or a Spotify bio,
I told Jack to hit you up for the Spotify bio.
Dude, I did that shit in like 20 minutes. And he's like, thank you so much, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm writing paragraphs. Like it's all good. Like, of course, like I have a buddy from Philly who I got to do his shit today, and I fuck with him off the strength of his music being good. So I'm probably not even going to charge him for it, just because that's some petty stuff. Like, yeah, dude, give me $50 to write this thing for you. Like, you could have done it, but the reason you're hitting me up is because I'm a writer, and you know that I'm
the connection in the exchange is worth more than
it's
the
always
$50.
good to get.
Exactly.
It's always good to get like another perspective on like your overall style,
for sure,
as far as sound goes.
I always ask people for second opinions on things, even if I feel very sure in my opinion. I always have to ask somebody else, just because like you get so wrapped up in your own process and everything,
your own insecurities and how you hear and how you think. Like, I was making a beat the other day and I was like, this third 808 sounds off. So I sent it to Kel, and Kel was like, yeah, no, it's off. Just pull that up one, and fixed it. And I'm like, because I kept listening to it, and you hear things in a certain way. It's just unique to you. Everybody's, you see things, smell things. It's personal truths. It's what you've kind of built through your life.
Right.
But like, if I didn't said stuff to anybody, I wouldn't have any idea of like whether it's good. I could think it's good, or I could think it was trash, and it could just remain as trash.
Yeah.
For the whole time.
Yeah.
So you gotta reach outward to get that break in the monotony.
Yeah.
So
do you want to ask something? Because I
got?
I have other questions that I want to ask. I just feel like I've been asking a lot.
Okay,
I
here we
just
go.
want to make sure.
This is a good question. So you said you've been in music for 5-6 years or something like that, like really tapped in, like doing your thing.
yeah, I would say the past 3 have like I was writing for 5 or 6, but the past 3 I've been like
Really involved, having your
Yeah.
hands on things.
just trying to be able to help in any way I can.
Yeah.
Really.
So with that being said, like what is like one of your like proudest moments, like with like whether it's with an artist or like, you know, like the Jack thing, like he blows up off a song for something that you scooped up, or
That was
you
super
know-
cool. That was a really cool moment, I think, for everybody. But it's cool to be like, yeah, Jack's my friend now.
Yeah.
Like
that's
that man made me a loaf of bread and gave me because he's like, bro, if there's anything I could ever do, I don't take payments, but I'll take some bread.
Yeah.
And he bro, people are like, yo,
That's ironic.
I'll give me a write-up and I'll DoorDash you some like fucking fettuccine Alfredo. Like I'd
Yo,
consider it if it was good. If the
that's
music
funny
was
as
good,
That's fire.
that'd be
That's fire.
tight. But so yeah, he baked me a loaf of bread and it was like,
So
and
all
it
you
gave me
artists out there looking for help, start DoorDashing people.
baked goods. He made me 2 jars of jam just because he was so thankful. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, you didn't need to do that. That was the first time I've ever gotten any reward for writing.
That's amazing.
5 years in.
That just
Bro,
shows-
it was great bread. He's very talented at that. But
Yeah.
I would say the coolest moment, the Josiah fundraiser was
That
really
was so
cool.
sick.
That was fun because he could, he actually cares. He's a good person.
Was that at Rad?
Rad OTR,
yeah.
shout
I was there.
Shout out to those.
Shout out
guys.
to Billy
Dope
and
story.
Jake. They're wonderful people. Great small business owners. Great people. Great friends. But yeah, that was a cool moment just because we were giving back to the community and
Mhm.
Josiah wanted to do something and everybody had fun and there was no problems.
Yeah.
Nobody got into a fight. I think there was a kid smoking a blunt in there and he's like, don't do it. And they put it out and smoked it outside. So
Was Josiah like one of the first guys that you were kind of like really tapped in with that like really like took off to like major?
yeah,
He's low. I wouldn't even say he's like underground anymore. Do
no,
you?
he's not. Once you
Nah, I don't think.
once
so.
you have a lyrical lemonade video,
It's the,
bro,
you're, yeah,
Right,
that's literally what we were
right.
talking about. Like, as soon as you have a lyrical lemonade video, you're not underground.
I was
anymore.
I met him at
That's
the
the portal.
Another
That's
person,
the portal.
bro, another person I met at the Mockbee. First time I met him at the Mockbee. Very, very soft spoken, like very appreciative. And he was like, yo, he told me, he was like, yo, we have a collab with Snot.
That's so sick.
And I was like, at that point, I was like,
Who's
okay.
Snot?
And I was like, who?
But he was really big on SoundCloud.
yeah,
wasn't
no,
he?
that's what it was. And then they dropped Case 19.
crazy.
Yeah, that was it. Before the 6ix9ine blunder.
Yeah.
Bro, that was not a good decision. Shout to decide, but I don't. That's not neither here nor there. I don't think that was a good call.
Agreed.
Right. I think we could.
But him
we
and
could all
Snot
be-
had like beef for a little bit.
Yeah, there
and
was some
it kind of
issues.
like drove him to make like a rash decision like that. I feel like
I think
in a
so.
way
Yeah, there's stuff behind that we'll
that
never.
we don't even know.
Yeah.
It's not our
but-
business.
Yeah. Shout to Josiah. He knows what it is, man. He's a good dude. But I
Mm-hmm.
would say that there are moments like this Rich Nooney project.
Bro, we were
Unreal,
Our last
Yeah.
pod.
Him
Like, we
and
just released.
Harold, and then the Robert kid who produced on there. There are a couple other producers on there, bro. Nooney, that's a cool moment because like I hit them, showed them the article, and they were like, "Yo, thank you so much. You wrote this. This is one of the best articles I've ever read." I'm like, "Damn, that's hilarious.
sick,
Thank you
yeah.
so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it." But like that's a cool moment when because Harold's gold producer.
Yep.
Harold's done some shit. Like
Mhm.
Nooney is going to be out of here too. The coolest thing is to write a post or help an artist out to where they're like, yo, thank you so much. They're
Yeah.
blown away. I wrote an article on this kid and he said he showed it to his mom. His mom cried.
That's awesome.
I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
amazing.
what? Like, are you like
That's better than a $50.
that's
for a
what
write-up
for
or
sure,
something
bro.
like
That's
that.
why paying for write-ups doesn't get you anything, bro. Like,
Right.
it doesn't build your fan base. It's like the pay to play. If you know, I don't know. I just think that any connection I can help an artist make with another fan or a new fan or whatever, if I can make that artist happy, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
If it's good music, we're gonna push it. If it's bullshit, we're not gonna push it. And if you're a bad person and you make good music, we might be like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know. But we try not to let politics get involved.
Yeah.
But there, you know, if an artist is just doing sus shit, then we're probably not going to support him because it's just not a good look. But yeah, we're here to help, dude. I'm here to help. I'm a sweetheart.
That's all I'm here for too.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I got one final question before we wrap this up. Just very, very quickly. As you are a licensed realtor in the greater Cincinnati area, what's the best area to invest in right now? If I wanted to go buy a home, what would you tell me?
That would depend. That would depend on your budget.
Yep.
All right, for this exercise,
that would depend on your. Well, actually,
for this exercise, I'm looking at about 100,000 to 250.
That's a crazy. Like, bro, that's
I've
so
never
many
bought a
different-
house before. I don't know
that's
how
so
this
many different
works.
options. Okay, so I don't know, man, bro. For instance, I'm from Anderson.
I'm not trying to go to Anderson.
Fuck Anderson.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go there. What's okay? All right, look.
It's
I'm
ASMR.
okay.
ASMR interview.
Hypothetical situation. I'm a young professional. I'm moving here. I just got a job transfer somewhere.
Where's your? Good question. Where's your job? That's
You're working at Macy's downtown.
okay. So, and then I'm gonna ask you questions.
But I don't
like,
necessarily want to live downtown.
Good call.
You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody should. It's overpriced. For instance, I live on the west side, which is probably like 20 minutes from downtown.
Right.
And our house is nice. Our house is nice enough. I got a 4-bedroom. I got a nice little backyard. I got a
Fire.
locker. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
That's
And
awesome.
I'll be there for a minute. But you can there are places you will overpay for real estate. For instance, your $250,000 in Anderson Township will go so much less distance than it would over in Bridgetown or Cleves or wherever.
Yeah.
If you were like, okay, I want to live downtown. I'm a young, sexy businessman, and I want to hang out where the young people are. You could get a place in like Hyde Park or Oakley, but if you have $250, that $250 in Hyde Park or Oakley is probably going to get you like a little of a fixer upper.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dude, you could get a condo. It really all depends on your financial situation and what you want. It's not my money. It's not my choice. It's unethical for me to show you certain homes and apartments and whatever that would only appeal. Oh, this is what I think you should get.
Yeah.
Who cares about what I think? I'm not going to be living there.
No.
You know? So I would, it legitimately.
So many different factors.
There's
that
so
come
many
into it.
different factors.
I had no idea what I was getting
Bro,
into when I
we
asked
could run this up for like, I could do a consultation for like 30 minutes with you and we just look through houses. But
Shit.
it's cool, man. Real estate is cool. I met a lot of good people but then I met people who were
Shitty.
Shitty, and I wouldn't want to do business again with them. And yeah, that's the world. You know, it's
Every industry.
for sure. And that's something that like I remind myself I have to keep going. I have to do well because I want to be a part of the change for this industry. I want to change the things that upset me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Not only you, and there's a lot of other people like you that
Exactly.
are upset
Who are-
about the same things.
yeah, who are in the same boat and want to be just want to be good people. We're just trying to be nice, you know, and try to
Survive.
help everybody out. Exactly. Like life is crazy right now for a lot of people. And I think what would get us through better is just being empathetic, being altruistic, and taking a walk in other people's shoes and seeing how you can help. If I can help in any way I can, let me know.
It's amazing.
Wonderful. If you need an article write-up or if you need a house in the greater Cincinnati area, you know who the fuck to hit up. Well, I just want to remind everybody, follow us on Instagram.
Bam.
Follow us on Twitter.
Bow.
Join the Discord.
Join it.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
The main page and the TV page.
Bam.
Follow on TikTok. Another wonderful.
Clay's a TikTok vlogger now.
I am.
21.
Oh my god, I am a TikTok
21.
blogger. Jeez, I knew. Okay,
Bro,
before
get the check, dude. Who cares
before,
about all that? Get the
Before
check.
I end the episode, I just want to say I said this to you. I said I don't want to download TikTok because I'm going to download it and I'm going to like it too much and I'm going to spend too much time on it, and that is exactly what's happening to me. I was literally in bed last night, like about to fall asleep, eyes half closed, and I'm like, another one, please.
That's how I am with
Do the dance.
That's
do the
how I am
dance.
with Grailed, bro. I fiend on Grailed.
Oh my god,
Amazing.
Jeez.
I love Grailed. Shout to the bro. If I could work for Grailed, if you hear this,
Grailed, if you're watching.
if you're watching, Grailed and Mitch McConnell, if you're watching the Soul Serum podcast, Mitch, I swear to God, dude. I swear to God, Mitch, I'm in Kentucky, Mitch. Where you at? What's up?
in you.
What's up? Grailed, I love you. This has been great, dude. I've had a blast. This is
Thank
super
you very
fun.
much for
Appreciate
coming
it,
on,
bro.
man.
Thank
It was
you.
awesome.
Shout out to all the camera guys. You
Yes,
guys are
sir.
Yes,
killing it.
very important.
Appreciate it.
Very important.
Hold it
Thank
down in
you.
the corner.
Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
to everybody who's watching, who's listening. New episodes every Monday on your bitch ass. My name is Clay Bonin.
Tanner Mavis.
Mark Bricker, aka Brick.
Let's go.
At FatBoyBrick, baby.
Yeah, at
Follow them.
FatBoyBrick on all platforms. Yeah.
I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Peace.
You dig.
Be good. Love you.